See that screen? See that USB going to work? My car is finally updating. And I'm telling you, that took a lot more effort than it should have. So we're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're not going to get into it too long. I'm going to keep this a fairly short video, but my Mustang has never had its software updated, and I've never experienced this in a car, and this was a shit show because Ford made it that way. So effectively you have two choices, because mine is a 2019. This runs the Sync 3 software. To not get into the too nitty-gritty, basically you take your VIN number, you stick it in on Ford's website, they give you a software package you download. That part's pretty straightforward. The part that's not so straightforward is their instructions on how to do this, because they clearly don't want you to. So in this particular case, I wanted to update the software. There's some newer things with the newer sync software that actually fixes problems that this car has. One of them is with the USB connection software. For Android Auto. I do use it a lot. Call me what you will. And I just couldn't get it to work. It works off and on. It's glitchy. Sometimes my phone doesn't connect. Bluetooth doesn't work right. It's a software issue, for sure. It could be still on my phone side, but I think it's on the car side. My brother's Mustang already had this update, so I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give myself that update. Well, the error here is that Ford did a really shit job with their instructions, and I'm calling them out for it. I like Ford. I like my car. But this is an atrocity. So effectively, what I had to do to get this work, you download that software package. What they tell you to do is to take a USB drive that's 32 gigs or less and format it for Sync 3 and newer exFAT. I'm assuming it has something to do with the built-in operating system, probably based on Linux. And you effectively have to then copy the files over to it, except that's not the case. What you're supposed to end up with is 3 files on the root of the drive. There is, I believe, a what's in the update file. There is some other binary file, and then a folder called Sync My Ride. And inside Sync My Ride is supposed to be the software update files for both system software, and then if you had GPS, you would put your GPS map updates in there. The kicker with this is when you download the binary tarball they give you and unpack it in your downloads folder, that's not what shows up. So what I think they meant to do, I think whoever tarred these files just made a boo-boo. What you should have done is they should have put something in the root of the folders for these files, so that way it would all be hierarchically contained. I don't even know if that's a word. And they didn't do that. Does this help? I don't know. Let's say it does. It's nice mood lighting, right? The issue here is they didn't do that. So all the tar files for the actual system updates were all just sync my ride underscore the name of the file. So when I extracted the mate and zip, copied it to the flash drive, sat in here, kept getting an update error. I'll display it here. Couldn't get it to work, couldn't get it to work, couldn't get it to work. Well, shit, okay. Read a little bit and said, well, maybe I'm supposed to unpack those tar files. So I took the effort and I unpacked all these tar files. Keep in mind, the only 16 gig flash drive I have is a USB 2 drive. It's pretty slow. So this has taken me the rest of my afternoon to do as a result. So I mucked around with it, still didn't work. So I reformatted the drive, I started copying the files back over, and I noticed, well, the Sync My Ride folder, you're supposed to have 3 folders in their instructions. Or 1 folder, 2 files. and inside the folder was the files. They didn't make that clear, probably because what's supposed to happen when you extract that main tarball is it's supposed to create that folder structure for you, and you just copy paste. Well, somebody fucked up on the server side, and that's not what happened. So I had to manually rename all the tarballs that came out of that main big tarball to remove the sync my ride underscore at the beginning of it, then put those in a sync my ride folder, then copy those to the USB drive, and then put them in the USB hole. And I had to make sure that I shut the car off and walked away, came back to the car. Keep in mind, I'm in a well-ventilated area while this is running here. Then turn the car on, start it, then plug the USB drive in immediately while the horse was still showing on the radio. Now it detects the USB drive. Now it's updating the system software, and this is probably going to take a while. This is a very slow thumb drive, but it's getting the job done.
What? What the fuck?
This is not what I expected. So I'm a little software techie, and I could figure this out. The average person is not figuring this out. So Ford, seriously, go fuck yourself. Let people update their software and don't be dicks about it. All they would have had to have done is somebody who packaged that software, download it and extract it, and make sure that everything was fine. Right? So I don't know who did their software packaging, why this is so hard, and over the air right now. So I tried, and I will try again after I edit this video, to figure out what the fuck's going on. But I tried over the air updating this car, because you can connect to Wi-Fi with it. I wouldn't recommend it. There's a whole laundry list of reasons why. I think cars with the CAN bus, which is how the car talks to itself, being online is a huge problem, because everything on the CAN bus can talk to everything else on the CAN bus. So it just takes somebody connecting to your car while it's connected to the internet to hack anything on your car. Keep that in mind. Anyway, couldn't even do that because their website software is down. Here I am trying to do this right now, and I had downloaded these files earlier, a few days ago, and I could get in just fine. You can see my car just fine. Everything's good. But it took all of this to figure out how to get the software on the car. Now, what they want you to do is take it to the dealer and have a software update done. I'm not paying $200 to $300 in shop labor so some diddy fuck can plug a USB drive in my car and update the software. While I can do some of this stuff myself, you know, my thoughts on this is, come on, Ford. And it's not just Ford I'm going to hate on. Other companies do it too. This is our shit. We should be able to work on our shit. I should be able to update my own software, you know, like my laptop. And to be fair, I think the way a product should leave the factory, it should be able to operate its entire life completely enclosed with no internet access. I just think that should be a thing. Now, is that how the world works now? No. Beta software goes out the door, if it's even beta, and we deal with the repercussions of that, and we get 10 software updates, and then whatever we get gets left in a half-broken state, and that's what we end up having to deal with. So I hate it, but that's where we are right now. I mean, I can't even get like a BIOS update as an example for my Lenovo e-waste machine to go smoothly. I'm actually going to put that here because I was going to make my own video about it, and now I'm going to talk about that. Because I have an e-waste Lenovo I use for general browsing at nighttime and whatnot, taking some notes and stuff. It's a nice little Celeron laptop. I spent 2 weeks, nights to be fair, 1 or 2 hours at night, trying to get the BIOS updated on that thing, because Lenovo didn't give you a boot disk. So usually Lenovo was pretty good at that, where they give a generic boot disk, they just swap the IMG file out, or however the BIOS is updated, bin file, and you just update it. And then for some reason, for just particularly, I'll leave this one on, just particularly that model, they didn't do that, and I ended up having to install Windows to an external drive, boot from that external drive just to update my BIOS, and then it wiped out all my boot options, and I had to manually reconfigure the UEFI boot option to boot back to Linux. These are just anti-consumer practices, and I really get bothered by them. You know, in some ways, I want to build my own offline rig that just never touches the internet. Just for reasons like this, where software updates will just completely bug everything out. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I don't know if that's really my thing, but I'd be curious to see how feasible it is to do that, especially with Linux. They rely a lot on package managers and connecting to the internet. Just saying. So, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.